There are quiet moments in life when the room is still, when the phone is face down, and the noise of everyone else's expectations finally fades. And you find yourself wondering what love is becoming while you wait. Not in a dramatic way, not with tears every night, but in that gentle ache that comes when time passes and you realize you're still becoming, still learning, still trusting God with something you cannot see yet. I want to speak to you from that place. Not from excitement or prediction, but from reflection, prayer, and honesty. Because while you are living your life, while you are working, healing, laughing, and sometimes doubting, someone else is also being shaped by God in quiet ways. Not for a fantasy, not for perfection, but for a covenant that requires patience, humility, and growth. Scripture reminds us that God works in hidden places, that what is planted in secret often grows roots before it bears fruit. And love is one of those things that grows unseen for a long time. You may not know their name, you may not know their face, but what matters more is that you are both being prepared, not just for a wedding day, but for the life that comes after the celebration ends. I've learned over the years that weddings are loud moments for something that must survive quiet seasons. The music fades, the guests go home, the decorations come down, and what remains is two people learning how to choose each other daily. So if there is planning happening somewhere, it is not about colors or flowers or guest lists. It is about intention. Your future spouse, whoever they are becoming, is likely learning responsibility in small, unglamorous ways. Learning how to keep their word when no one is watching. Learning how to show up on time. Learning how to apologize without excuses. These things don't trend. They don't get posted. But they are sacred. The Bible speaks often about wisdom being quiet, about understanding growing through discipline and humility. And love, real love, is deeply connected to wisdom. Somewhere, someone is learning that love is not control, that love does not rush another person into readiness, that love listens before it speaks. And while you may be imagining what a wedding could look like, they may be imagining what kind of spouse they need to become. Not to impress you, but to honor God and the life they hope to build with someone. This is where patience becomes holy. Waiting does not mean you are forgotten. It means God is attentive to details you cannot yet see. The scriptures remind us that seasons have purpose. There is a time to plant, and a time to grow, and a time to harvest. Trying to force the harvest early only damages what could have lasted. You are not behind. You are not missing something everyone else has figured out. You are walking a path that requires depth, and depth always takes time. I want you to hear this gently. Your worth is not measured by whether someone has chosen you yet. Your value does not begin at marriage. You are already seen, already loved, already held by God. The Bible tells us that love is patient and kind, not because patience feels good, but because it protects what matters. Someone who is meant to walk with you long term will not rush what God is shaping carefully. They are likely thinking about stability more than spectacle, about peace more than performance, about building something honest instead of something impressive. And maybe, without realizing it, they are learning how to love you by first learning how to love God, how to love others, and how to live with integrity. That kind of preparation does not announce itself. It happens in ordinary days. It happens when someone chooses growth instead of bitterness. When they forgive even when it's uncomfortable. When they take responsibility for their healing instead of blaming their past. Those choices matter more than any plan made on paper. If you feel tired of waiting, you are not weak. You are human. Even the Psalms are full of honest waiting, full of voices asking God how long, not in disbelief, but in trust that He hears questions spoken from a sincere heart. Waiting teaches you how to rest in God without having all the answers. It teaches you how to be whole without leaning on another person for identity. And that wholeness becomes a gift you bring into marriage someday, not a demand you place on someone else. Sometimes I tell people this quietly, because it needs to be heard without pressure. The right love will not rescue you from yourself. It will walk beside you as you continue becoming. And that is likely what your future spouse is learning too. Not how to save someone, but how to stand with someone. Not how to be perfect, but how to be faithful. If this message meets you where you are, and you feel your spirit settle just a little, you're welcome to subscribe to the Radiantia Soul Lift channel. Not out of obligation, but as a space for quiet encouragement when you need it. And if you feel moved, you can leave a kind word in the comments. Something uplifting for someone else who may be waiting too. Faith grows stronger when it's shared gently. As we come to the end of this reflection, I want you to breathe for a moment. Trust does not mean certainty. It means surrendering the timeline while holding on to hope. God has never wasted a season of waiting. He uses it to strengthen roots, to deepen character, and to prepare hearts for love that lasts beyond a single day. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare. You don't need to fear being left behind. What is meant to meet you will arrive with peace, not pressure. And until then, may you grow in grace, walk in patience, and rest in the quiet confidence that God is faithful with details you cannot yet see. Before you close this moment, I want to stay with you just a little longer, because some thoughts take time to settle into the heart. There is a misunderstanding many people carry quietly, that waiting is a holding pattern, that life somehow begins later. But faith teaches us something different. The days you are living right now are not rehearsal days. They are real. They matter. God does not pause your growth until someone else enters the picture. He meets you fully where you are. And often, the most meaningful preparation is not about who will stand beside you someday, but about who you are becoming when no one is watching. Your future spouse is not being shaped only for a wedding, but for endurance. For mornings when love feels ordinary. For nights when misunderstanding needs patience. For seasons when faith must be practiced quietly. Those lessons are rarely dramatic. They are learned in consistency. And you too are learning them now. Every time you choose peace over proving a point, breathe. Every time you walk away from something that compromises your spirit. Every time you trust God with unanswered questions. The Bible reminds us that God looks at the heart, not appearances, not timelines, not social expectations. That means He values who you are becoming more than when things happen. So if love feels delayed, it may be because God is protecting depth. A shallow foundation can be built quickly. Strong one takes time. I have seen people rush into relationships only to realize later that they skipped the work that could have saved them pain. And I have seen others wait, sometimes longer than they wanted, but step into love with clarity and peace. Neither story is about luck. Both are about readiness. Your future spouse is likely learning restraint, learning not to chase attention, learning how to honor commitment before it exists publicly. These are quiet forms of faithfulness. And while you may not feel celebrated in this season, heaven is attentive to what is being formed. Scripture often speaks of God going before us, making paths straight, not by removing effort, but by guiding direction. That guidance does not shout, it nudges. You may notice it when you lose interest in what once distracted you, when your standards shift without bitterness, when you become less impressed by charm and more drawn to character. Those changes are not accidental. They are signs of maturity, and maturity attracts maturity. As you continue forward, don't underestimate the power of living well right now, loving others sincerely, serving where you are planted, caring for your inner life. These things shape the kind of partnership that can endure life's weight. Marriage is not sustained by excitement alone. It is sustained by two people who know how to return to God together. And that practice often begins long before vows are spoken. If you ever feel discouraged, remember this simple truth: God is not late. He is intentional. And intention often feels slow to those who are eager to love deeply. Stay open, stay honest, stay grounded. The love meant for you will not require you to abandon yourself. It will recognize the work God has already done in you. And until that day comes, may your life be full, your faith steady, and your heart at peace, knowing that what God prepares quietly is often what lasts the longest.